Are you in the mood for a movie where the sky is green and the grass is blue? Well, gird your loins because you might like today's movie, One Battle After Another, where being in a country illegally and blowing up buildings is good and enforcing the laws of this country is bad. I mean, really bad. Would you like to know more? Then keep on watching this Movies Merica live.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
Hey, everybody. Hey, welcome to this latest episode of Movies Merica live on this Sunday here, all right? It is technically still the weekend, and so, yeah, feel free to kick back, chill, relax, ease your mind, all right? So imbibe, grab whatever you're drinking or whatever you're snacking on, pop it in your mouth and relax while I, your humble host, Van Ebert, talk to you about this week's movie here. And real quick, this is a spoiler-free live review of today's movie, and that very movie is One Battle After Another. Yes, the new Leonardo DiCaprio movie there, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. And real quick here, I've got some friends over here in the live chat on the Rumble side that are reminding me that, yes, because this show is live, we do have the live chat functionality, capability available for everyone, including everyone in the live chat I see already here, like Unfolding Joker, Channel 2 Action News, and we've got Mr. Scott Awesome up in the house, and Lindy Rig 87 right here, and they are blessing us with their presence here because I knew they wouldn't want to miss, me talking about Antifa, a love story, the new movie. I mean, One Battle After Another here today here, which apparently is the greatest movie ever made. Ever made. I mean, ever. The greatest movie ever made, and there will never be a greater movie made from this moment henceforth right here if you watch all the institutional hack shill film critics out there. So, but again, thank you. Welcome to everybody in the live chat there here today. And yeah, we're going to get right into this movie here. Like I said, it is directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, who most people probably know from him directing Boogie Nights and Magnolia and There Will Be Blood. You know, the movie where I abandoned my child. You know, the old Daniel Day-Lewis playing Daniel Plainview in There Will Be Blood right there. Bastard in a basket. So one of my two favorite lines from There Will Be Blood there. But those are all almost forgot who the director of this movie is over here, Paul Thomas Anderson. Now those are movies from him, and then now this One Battle After Another is the newest movie from one Mr. Anderson here. And like I already said, it's directed by. It stars Leonardo DiCaprio, which actually this is the first collaboration with him and Paul Thomas Anderson. Leonardo DiCaprio almost played Dirk Diggler way back in the day during Boogie Nights, but instead he wanted to use his unit not for Boogie Nights, but for Kate Winslet in Titanic, I guess. So he was a little indisposed with trying to survive, a big ship running into an iceberg and hooking up with Kate Winslet, who eventually just said, no, sorry, there's not enough room on here for both of us. You're going to have to freeze to death, all right? There you go. So he was a little too busy with Titanic to be in Boogie Nights right there. So, but now, fast forward from 1997 way over to 2025, they finally collaborate. This also has everyone's, every conservative's favorite actor, Sean Penn, in it as well. It's got actually a bright new, I guess a bright newcomer. There you go. Probably the best way to put it. In Chase Infiniti, which I think is a really cool name. But she plays Leonardo DiCaprio's daughter, Willow, in One Battle After Another. And then it has Benicio Del Toro in this as well. And of course, one of my favorite roles from Benicio Del Toro is his role in Sicario. In the Sicario movies, he's really good in that. He was also really good in Traffic, which I think he won. The best supporting actor for in Traffic there back in 2000. But that's Benicio Del Toro, and it's got a number of other actors obviously in this movie. Now the plot. So here we go. Okay, so here's the plot. So the plot starts off with. We've got Leo DiCaprio, and he is with this this woman who she basically considers herself a revolutionary, right? Because they would never dare call themselves what they really are: terrorists, murderers, bank robbers, anything like that. Now, that's a little too honest. All right, it's a little too honest up in here, so they got to call themselves like good names, like revolutionaries and anti-fascists and that kind of thing. And so Leo DiCaprio and his girlfriend, they're basically they're Antifa essentially. It's called what it is. They're Antifa, and of course they're in Antifa with a number of other members. And the movie starts out with and I'm not going to give too much of the plot away, but just to kind of set the table, that the movie starts off with they break into a detention center for illegal aliens. And they free a bunch of illegal aliens out of there. Just like, hey, we know you're in the country illegally and you broke into our country illegally, but hey, you're free. Just scatter all over the place. As you would like to, right there. We got you. We got your back. And then I guess Sean Penn is running the detention center in the beginning of this movie, and so they take this girl, DiCaprio's girlfriend, in this. She ties him up, and so that he can't stop him from releasing the illegal aliens. They kind of she kind of starts taunting him sexually and that kind of thing. It turns into some really weird scene, and then she takes Sean Penn and is walking him out of the complex, and then eventually gets to a point where she locks him in his own detention center, and there's a line from the trailers here when you watch the trailers where he says something to the effect of like, I'll be seeing you again real soon or something like that. And that's the scene that line is in. And then we have, fast forward into the movie, we've got DiCaprio's girlfriend called, her name is like Pernicia Beverly Hills or Panifia Beverly Hills, like just the kind of name you would expect from an Antifa member, right? So just some stupid, cartoonish, dumbass name that an 8-year-old would come up with, right? And so they continue to blow up buildings, rob banks, take detention centers over, and take ICE, basically what they are. They're ICE officers, basically. ICE officers hostage while they release the illegal aliens from all these illegal alien detention centers. There, and then after a while, the pernicious, whatever her name is, Beverly Hills, she eventually gets pregnant, and she really reveals herself to be a real piece of crap human being. As if you didn't know already, she's a real piece of work, from her blowing up buildings and taking over ICE detention centers. Something that happens that really, really illustrates what a real piece of work she is. And then it does a time jump, and I'm not gonna reveal too much more of the plot. It has a big time jump, and DiCaprio is he's kind of like this lazy, paranoid guy that is still afraid of the law coming after him, and Sean Penn is still in the picture. His character he's like a military colonel. He's still in the picture, and he's still out there looking for DiCaprio, and so it's just a tense kind of plot because you've got DiCaprio and his daughter Willa, and they're just hiding, just in case the authorities are still looking for him, and they're hoping not to get caught and that kind of thing. So that's enough table setting for the plot of this movie right here. But let's see here, double check when and hey, Mr. Scott Awesome right here. I'm just reading the live chats here, which is another reminder that you guys can get in a live chat here in this here show right here. And Mr. Scott Awesome says, did you know I can cross into Iowa without crossing the Missouri? Yeah, imagine that, right? You can, and also you can do it legally. You're doing it legally right there, and that makes you a swell human being right there. So, but now sometimes I cross in Missouri without crossing the Missouri River here to get maybe some fireworks from Missouri there, and because I want to have a great 4th of July there. I want to have an explosive 4th of July, and hey, maybe I'm in the mood to lose some digits. There you go. That's how I roll. But yeah, so yeah, in the live chat, hey, if you guys know any Paul Thomas Anderson movies here, let me know what your favorite one is. I still have to say Boogie Nights is still my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movie. But some people like Magnolia, some people like There Will Be Blood. He did The Master. He did Inherent Vice. He's done Licorice Pizza. And Hard 8 was his very first one. Hard 8's pretty good. That one has John C. Reilly, who most of you guys know as Will Ferrell's good buddy in Talladega Nights, shake and bake, and also he was also, who was it? Oh, God, what was that movie? Walk Hard, Dewey Cox. He was Dewey Cox in Walk Hard there. So, but so John C. Reilly was in Hard 8, and then the character actor that we just lost, I think, relatively Philip Baker Hall. He's in it as well. Philip Seymour Hoffman. That's the noise I make when I'm trying to think of something. As if that helps. So Hard 8 also has Philip Seymour Hoffman in a very brief but very captivating role in that movie. So, but yeah, those are some Paul Thomas Anderson movies right there. You guys have seen any of those? Boogie Nights. A lot of people are saying this is the most approachable Paul Thomas Anderson movie. Boogie Nights, I think, is the most approachable because it's just a oh my God, what am I watching? Thoroughly and constantly entertaining movie there, especially the scene where Mark Wahlberg and John C. Reilly and you've got Thomas Jane, and they're in the drug house there with Alfred Molina, and you got the Asian guy in the background constantly lighting fires or firecrackers, with Motorin, Sister Christian, playing in the background. That whole very tense drug scene that was one of the most tense scenes in the movie right there. And oh yeah, right there, Punch Drunk Love, absolutely. Hey, I got my brother man Davin watching the show here tonight. Yeah, Punch Drunk Love was another great Paul Thomas Anderson movie. That actually was a movie that it took me a long time to see it there, Davin. Just for a myriad of other different reasons. Like I would go to watch it and something would distract me, and eventually I did finally watch it. And then that's another movie with a great, rather brief appearance from Philip Seymour Hoffman in the movie there. But yeah, Adam Sandler, as you typically don't see him, that was way before he was an Uncut Gems. Punch Drunk Love was one of his more off the beaten Adam Sandler path, because before that obviously he was in Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore, The Wedding Singer, all those movies, and then he did Punch Drunk Love, and it's a great movie. It's it's like especially if you're somebody and you have a whole lot of sisters, because his character has like a crew of sisters there that are always looking out for him, and it's a rather interesting movie. His character is just out there and bizarre in there, but in an entertaining way right there. So absolutely. But all right, hey, I'm gonna get a tug off my beer here real quick. And again, that's a reminder that whatever you guys are drinking, hey man, toss it back here, and I'm gonna get into more Antifa, a love story. Sorry, God, I keep doing that. One battle after another. Right after this. And I'll be talking about this more later on in Brew review time, just to let you guys know all about that. So and yeah, absolutely. So and just in case here, it just occurred to me, if you guys are wondering, if you are live chatting in Rumble and you're like, hey, you just put that other guy's live chat up on the screen, right? Why not ours? Well, in this live streaming software that I'm using, it doesn't yet have the capability of putting live chats from the Rumble side up on the screen like it does for YouTube live chats right there. So I blame it on them. All right, there you go. So get off my back. All right, let's get into some more one battle after another. And I got to say, and maybe you'll feel the exact same way after you see one battle after another, but I just found it was like staring into the funhouse mirror that is the worldview of a leftist for 2 hours and 41 minutes. It's also a litmus test to a point that exposes the true feelings one has about America, okay? And I'm not saying America is perfect, okay? America has warts just like every other country, okay? But the movie exposes the true feelings one has about this very country right here. And what I mean by to a point is if someone simply compliments the cinematography and the action sequences of this movie, but dislikes everything else about this movie, well, that tells you very, very little about that person, right? Now, if someone raves about this movie and they have constant O-face the whole time, that tells you they really don't care about this country very much, okay? Now, if someone says they hate this movie or just annoyed them, well, that tells you that they don't hate America, right? And you may be asking, Van, come on, man. How can you talk in those kinds of black and white terms, man? And I answer with this. The writer / director, Paul Thomas Anderson, explicitly and purposely creates a world where it's portrayed that immigration law enforcement just simply enforcing the immigration laws passed by our democratically elected Congress is bad, and breaking the law in the name of whatever justice some rando decides is justice, well, that's good and honorable. Anderson does try to be slick by hiding the intention of this movie's narrative by injecting some humor into it. It kind of gives it that well, it was just a funny movie. It's just we were just having a little. It was just a little satire and all that. They put the humor in there so they could kind of hide behind that. And the fact that he did create this kind of movie, and there are numerous critics who are dropping to their knees and lighting candles to this movie, is why I make it that black and white. That's why I have that black and white take that I have. The side that hates America and doesn't want us to know who all is coming into the country, safety of American citizens be damned, will love this movie, okay? And predictably, these same critics will deny this, and they'll just say that I'm being overly simplistic. I don't care. They're lying, and they showed their hand with how they fangirled over this movie here. So, and it really is something else. I'm like, let me show you something right here. I'll kind of give you some video proof of what I'm talking about here, because you might be like, hey, what are you talking about, Van? Like, you're full of crap. All right. So, right here. Oh yeah, there we go. Another good point from Davin here. Always seems to be pretty solid soundtracks in Paul Thomas Anderson films. And yes, you do not lie on that point right there. We park our car in the same garage on that one, my friend here. So, and yeah, if you check out Boogie Nights is probably the most famous example of that there. And trying to think if one battle after another really has. It does have there's one song. There is songs in this, not as many as that they had in the in Boogie Nights right there. Here, like, has some brain farting over here, but they did have songs. I mean, they had like "Dirty Work" by Steely Dan, which is a classic '70s jam in this. So as And you'll see later on in my review, there are some good points to one battle after another. Let me rephrase. There are some things I like about one battle after another there. And, hey, using, the great song Dirty Work by Steely Dan is one of those examples of what I like in this movie right here. So it's only 99.3% bad. There's 0.7% of this movie I like, or 0.07% of this movie I like. So there you go. Right there. And it looks like we're getting some geography lessons here about Iowa here from Mr. Scott Awesome up in here in the live chat. So make this your first one-stop shop for Iowa and Missouri geography lessons here on Movies Merica Live in the live chat. So, and we all learned something about Mr. Scott Awesome today. He's Nebraskan. There you go. Like that right there. But we have a well-represented audience here in Movies Merica Live. I remember though, especially when I do I remember when I reviewed the movie RRR, which is a movie from India. And I remember that, I had comments in the live chat from some people from over New Delhi and Jakarta and all that stuff. So it all depends on what movie I'm reviewing as far as who I sometimes get, live chats from and all of that stuff right there. But real quick here. That's what I was going to show you some video proof over here. So I got all, I allowed myself, I distracted myself right here. But check this out. Just all this fangirling over this movie right here. And this is just example one out of, 7.3 million examples I could show you here. All right, let's play that up here. And let's get that full screen. There you go.
Swing for the fences and basically go to far lengths to get whatever kind of performance he needs to for a role. He can do humor, he can do drama, he can do action, he can do a little bit of everything, which Leo does in this movie. And PTA and him just fit so well together.
And I gotta say, if there's anyone out there that complains that Hollywood doesn't make original movies, if you don't see this movie, then you can never say that again.
You didn't see Mickey 17.
This is a fantastic, original, unique film. There's nothing like it. I've never seen anything like this movie before. And it's really special. And even in PTA's filmography, it does stand out as something just completely different. And he's done some very out there movies. But this is just some crazy boiling pot of so many cool ideas and tones and flourishes and characters, and somehow it works. And if you don't see this movie and you complain about there not being original movies, that's a problem. You gotta.
All right, let's just get this guy a bottle of Jergens while we're at it right there, huh? So let me show you another example here. Let's do this. And let's do that. Let's get out of that. Actually, let's stop sharing there. Let's do this. I want to show you. I got another one in here. I guarantee it. Mr. Scott, get that out of your mouth. I know I hear you. Slap the taste out your mouth. There you go. You kiss your mother with that mouth? No, I kiss your mother with that mouth. No, I'm kidding. Let's see another one here. I saw another review here today that was just hilarious. It was like a microcosm of what I'm saying here, from all just the shill industry critics that are out there, and it's just amazing. They're all just conglomerating all together here. I think this might be it here. Let me do this here real quick. There we go. All right. Yep, I found it there. I found it. Just had to get this going on here. So, yep, I wanted to. I didn't want to deprive you guys of this very special video here. I think you guys will be able to detect real quick why this guy is he's absolutely fapping over this movie here. All right, let's do this. Let's check that out here. Oh, here we go. All right, let's get that going on. Let's hook you guys up with some full screen, and let's do this.
Brian, welcome to the awards contender. I am very excited to give you my review of One Battle After Another, which was everything I hoped it would be and more. This is a masterpiece for the ages. one of the very best Paul Thomas Anderson films ever made. Oh my God. Oh my God. Did I love every minute of this film. 2 hours and 40 minutes long. It just flies by. It's so exciting. It's so confidently directed. It's so suspenseful, has so much tension, unpredictable. The performances in this film are extraordinary, not just from one or two people, the entire ensemble cast. It is just an abundance of riches, this movie. And this is a no spoiler review if you haven't seen.
So you see what I mean right there? So yeah, this is and just picture that. Like just go ahead and just scroll through like Film X or scroll through YouTube, just search for One Battle After Another, and you're gonna get that. And you're gonna get this movie worship from the critics that you would expect to get the movie worship from, with this right there. But yeah, that guy is just, again, example 1 out of 7.3 million right there. And Unfolding Joker does have a good point. That guy that I just showed you is sitting on a butt plug for sure. So, and yeah, I mean, for some reason, after I watched him, I felt like changing up from this to like a Cosmo or something like that suddenly right there. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it right there, but I got to feel like he would like to put his finger on it, if you know what I'm saying. And yeah, there we go. I love it. Yep. Unfolding Joker. It vibrates every time he says, "Oh my God," to help fuel his fake emotions for the movie. Yeah, Unfolding Joker, you're bringing it today, man. They are all gargling on demand, and that's for sure. They are glazing this movie big time here today. But real quick here, let me ask you if you like seeing simps like what I just showed you right there, who was like, I thought that movie was fantastic. Well, hey, like this episode right here. Okay, go ahead and hit that like button down there if you would. I pointed downwards because that's where it's at right there. And then also hit that subscribe or follow button down there if you haven't already. If you have already, please don't click it again because you'll unfollow or unsubscribe. And then also hit that notification bell that's also down there. Okay, and that'll do exactly like what it sounds like. It'll just send you like an email, just letting you know, hey, there's a brand new piping hot, fresh, delicious, sizzling episode of Movies Merica coming out of the oven just for your enjoyment, okay? And then for all my viewers, watchers that are watching this later on here, you're not watching it live, well, hey, we can still communicate back and forth between each other. We just have to do it via the comments section that is also down below right there. And hey, you can get in the comment section. Hey, let me know what you thought of One Battle After Another, or let me know stuff like, what's your favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movie, that kind of thing. Or hey, you know what? Push come to shove, you can comment about whatever you want. I invite it all down there, unless you're like, one of those tools that get in my comments, like I see from time to time, and I'm sure other creators see this from time to time. We're like, hi, I really liked your episode. I think that I could help you enhance your show by us collaborating together. So go to www.whatsmynuts.com. No, don't put spam like that in my comments right there, okay? Because it will be deleted in 0.00001 second right there. Absolutely. So don't waste your time. All right. But again, yeah, I just wanted to ask if you guys would click on the like button and follow button and all of that stuff right there. And hey, and feel free if there's anybody that is top of mind that you even remotely suspect is into movies, go ahead and send them a link to this episode. Maybe you might be thinking, hey, you know what? Oh, Rodney, he's never doing anything on a Sunday afternoon. All right, he's probably just picking his nose right now, but I know he loves movies. And I know he likes Paul Thomas Anderson movies. So hey, forward old nose picking Rodney this link right here, and he can join me live and join everybody else live that are in here and talk some One Battle After Another. So doesn't that sound just so comfy and cozy? Yes. Oh my God, that guy's like, ugh. There you go. Got to get that guy. He's got to get him out of my head. There we go. All right, let's talk about some more One Battle After Another there. So, hey, and I mentioned it before. I told you that I was going to say some good things about this movie, and there are some good things about this movie, from a filmmaking standpoint. Now, you'll hear a lot of people deservedly rave about the cinematography, by cinematographer Michael Bauman. And I agree on that point. Okay, the color palette, the angle and size of the shots make this movie seem epic, as it better look for its $140 million budget. I mean, that's a big budget for a Paul Thomas Anderson movie there. And it's a big budget for it. Well, I'll get more into what I was about to say a little later on right here. But this movie it's a good looking movie to it. And it does some of it takes place in some very can I say that right? Picturesque locales. And the cinematography really enhances the picturesque locales that they're in and really adds to some action scenes that you see in this. I mean, as much as I'm dogging on this movie, it's never a boring movie. I will say that. And there are some frantic, in a good way, action sequences. The car chase sequence at the end it's entertainingly tense and takes place, again, like I said, in a picturesque locale. The way that this car chase ends is ingenious. Now, is all that worth you plunking down your $20 a person to go see this? Hell no. No. But I will say, this is easily Paul Thomas Anderson's most accessible movie to Mr. and Mrs. Normie Norm, but he wastes that on making this passive-aggressive cinematic screw you to Donald Trump, since Trump obviously broke Paul Thomas Anderson's brain. And this, of course, also says, screw you to the majority of presidential election voters who voted for Trump. So you've already have, your potential audience right there. Now you have to work twice as hard for this movie to not bomb, which is now also harder because of that massive $140 million budget, which you have to make 2.5 times of to not be a bomb there. Because remember, the studios don't get all of the gross that this movie makes. You get theaters; they take half of that right there. And then if you've been watching, TV or been online or anything like that, how much they've been marketing one battle after another. So that marketing budget isn't going to be cheap either. So you got to pay the theaters. You got to recoup that marketing budget. And that's what they say. Typically, if you want to make a profit, if you want to at least break even, you got to make 2.5 times the gross of your movie in there in order to not end up in the red right there. So, and then part of this movie is Paul Thomas Anderson flipping the bird at voters who just, who think of America as their home. You think of America's my home, right? And like the home that we live in, they don't just want anyone just walking in their front door, right? Raiding the fridge, stealing their Lunchables and their OJ, and sleeping in their bed and doing God knows what else. They just don't want that, right? They're all for American immigration laws to, I don't know, call me crazy, actually be enforced. I mean, I know that's way out there. I know that's crazy talk, right? And the main way he flips the bird at these voters is through Sean Penn's character. And I'm not making this up. His character is named, stay with me here, Colonel Stephen J. Lockjaw. I know. Anderson actually thought that was a good name. And, maybe that's like a satirical name or something like that. It might be. I don't know. Maybe he's kind of harnessing his, inner, Stanley Kubrick, Dr. Strangelove vibe. And so he's like, hey, that's a hilarious name for a military colonel. He's like, Stephen J. Lockjaw. Something. Maybe that's where he was coming from. But so in this movie, Lockjaw is the face of immigration enforcement in this, as he's in command of troops rounding up illegal aliens who have broken into America, so they can't be deported back to where they came from. Or so they can be deported back, I should say, to where they came from there. And Anderson writes Lockjaw as this cruel and awkward, perverse, corrupt, racist, dishonest clown in a military uniform. That's how Anderson wants you to think of law enforcement, who simply want to enforce the law. So it just makes me shake my damn head while that goes on. So basically, so you can imagine, how Paul Thomas Anderson thinks of someone like Tom Homan or something like that. I'm assuming he probably had Tom Homan in mind when he was coming up with this Colonel Stephen J. Lockjaw character there. So, but I don't know, this movie is something else, that's for sure. All right, let's you know what, I teased it before, and I am about to deliver. Okay, and that is, of course, my review of a brew, and of course I do that in a segment called Brew Review Time. All right, so like I always say, how to drink in some Movies Merica. We can drink in today's brew here, and this is some Millstream Back Road Stout here. And let me grab the can here for you so you can see that in all its glory. So you got a little Millstream Back Road Oatmeal Stout there, okay? And this comes to us from the Amana colonies in the state that is not Idaho or Ohio. It's Iowa, okay? And this is a dark brew that, has like this scintillating, mesmerizing, kind of this roasty, coffee-like brew here with a coffee-like aroma here. Because let me get a nose on this thing. Yeah, it's got a coffee aroma. It's kind of nutty, okay, as Austin Powers would say there as well. And it's brewed with oatmeal, and also just from the fact that it's a stout, it has a thicker body than, say, like a Pilsner or a lager or something like that, right? And so just from the sheer standpoint that it's a stout, that's just one of its properties. It's going to be a thicker brew right there. And it's got these roasty notes about it as well. And they really use that to give the brew a good finish as well. And I do like oatmeal stouts. It's one of my favorite types of brews here because it does give the beer kind of like a thicker mouthfeel to it. And I know that sounds disgusting how I said that right there. So, but trust me, it's a positive right there. There's no other way to say that, okay? Right there. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie The Menu with Ralph Fiennes in it, and it's also got what's her face in it. Anyway, but it has a character in The Menu there where this food connoisseur is talking about how he loves this food. He's like, I love this food. It's got a great mouthfeel. Anya Taylor-Joy, that's right. Anya Taylor-Joy. And Anya Taylor-Joy's character goes, please don't say the word mouthfeel. I guess it's like using the word moist. It's just one of the grossest sounding words out there. But this beer does have, a good, I'll just say that instead of saying the actual word right there. And I will predict that the sales for this Back Road Oatmeal Stout will go up during the holiday season because, at least to this cowboy right here, this Back Road Oatmeal Stout just seems like the perfect kind of beer that you would down with some Thanksgiving turkey and some stuffing, or Christmas time, maybe you've had enough eggnog and you're like, I need something else, all right, to pour down my gullet. So you reach for some Back Road Oatmeal Stout right there. So it's a fantastic, absolutely right there. And oh yeah, we got a good question here on Brew Review Time right there from our brother man here. So, is it as good as the oatmeal stout at Independence Brewery in Philly there? Which, sadly enough, the Independence Brewery in Philly is not there anymore. But you know what? Just because I'll admit recency bias here. I'm going to say it's just as good. I don't know if I'll say it's better, but it's just as good as the oatmeal stout there at Independence Brewery there in Philadelphia. But again, that oatmeal stout then might have been better. It's just been so long since I've had that right there. And so, hey, because the oatmeal stout from Millstream is something that I can still get my hands on, and the other one I can't, I'm going to give the vote to the beer that literally I have in my hand right here and whatnot. So, but yeah, Independence Brew Pub there in Philadelphia is a great brew pub there that was like right downtown Philadelphia there. That's me and my brother Davin went to with my other brother Dusty. and it was good stuff right there. We were there for Live 8 back in 2005. Remember Live 8? Remember that was a sequel to Live Aid, and they did another Live Aid, but they called it Live 8 because I guess it was at 8 cities back in 2005 right there. But very, very good there. So, and yeah, Judith Light from Who's the Boss was in the menu. Absolutely there. So, yeah, she looked a little bit more aged in that movie. But hey, you know what? Time comes for us all, right? There you go. Father Time is undefeated. But yeah, I kind of liked her character towards the end of the menu right there. She was very sympathetic to Anya Taylor-Joy's character right there. But Judith Light from Who's the Boss with Tony Danza and Alyssa Milano, which Alyssa Milano was like my first TV crush. All right, I had a thing for Alyssa Milano there as Sam from Who's the Boss right there. But yeah, also I'll give you some of the specs from Back Road Oatmeal Stout. Though it's got a 6.7 alcohol. Let me rephrase it. I'm gonna start over again. 6.7 alcohol by volume, and it's 20. It's got a 22 on the IBU scale. It stands for International Bitterness Units right there. So yeah, get your hands on some Millstream Back Road Oatmeal Stout. You could probably get it like via the Open Bar app on your phone. I think that app is. I know it's on iOS. I don't know if it's on Android yet. Or you could go through like Uber Eats. Uber Eats will deliver booze nowadays as well. There's GoPuff.com. I think that's still around there. So yeah, those are some avenues, some venues you can use to maybe get some, more obscure beers that aren't as ubiquitous there in your hand right there. Because I don't want to hog all the good brew for myself right there. And I'm not getting any money from Millstream Brewing or anything like that. So if it tasted like piss water, I'd tell you. All right. But so just to prove to you that I don't think it's piss water, here we go. Excellent. There we go. That hit the spot. Absolutely there. All right. And so let's wrap up this little thing we call brew. Let me try that again. Brew review time. All right. Check out the live chat over here on the Rumble side. And I think Mr. Scott Awesome is feeling lonely. So he says, Lindy, you still here? Yeah, Unfolding Joker. Thank you, Unfolding Joker. Yes, I quite agree. Well, she missed out right there. Absolutely. I think Alyssa Milano back in the day did miss out. Like, why wasn't she seeking the four corners of the globe to find me and hook up? Come on. I mean, what's wrong with this? What's wrong with this girl? Come on. Yeah, exactly. I like the way you think they're Unfolding Joker. Well, between her, and I don't remember if you guys remember Nicole Eggert from Charles in Charge. Yeah. Yep. That would definitely help me. Definitely help me get over my girls have cooties, phase right there. Absolutely. All right, there we go. And check this out over here. And we got Paul Thomas Anderson, not to be confused with director Wes Anderson. Done it before and had to beg the movie gods for forgiveness, right? So yeah, they're both Andersons that cinephiles know very well. So PTA. Let me see. Well, yeah, that technically is right. But Paul Thomas Anderson, he's got a little quirkiness in his movies, but not quite to the point of Wes Anderson. Right there, that guy. He's got a big. You remember that big pile of cocaine on Tony Montana's desk there in Scarface? Wes Anderson, I think he just basically just inhales a big pile of quirky in all of his movies right there. And hey, that's some people's taste right there. I mean, I can appreciate the art form and what Wes Anderson is doing right there. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean that no one else can like it. This is just not my bag. It's just not my bag, baby. Okay. Where Paul Thomas Anderson is a little bit more of my bag right there. But yes, a very good clarification on that there here on this Movies Merica Live episode there. So oh, there we go. Yep, Unfolding Joker. We've got Sarah Michelle Gellar Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yep, that's she was on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV series. Now, the movie was Christy Swanson there, and Unfolding Joker. I guess it's telling me like where he's going to be vacationing next summer. Cocaine Mountain. There you go. Yeah, it's or maybe I should say this winter. He's going to be enjoying the fresh, powdery snow there on Cocaine Mountain here this winter. And yeah, Mr. Awesome. Or maybe you dodged a bullet. Yeah, I know exactly. If you take a look at Alyssa Milano's political worldview here, yeah, I might have saved myself a whole bushel of crazy right there. She's definitely the quintessential example of crazy hot. It's like the whole it's a whole ratio. Like the hotter you are, the dumber you are, something like that. Who knows? But that's not necessarily all true there. So anyway, so real quick here, let me remind you that we do have this thing called Movies Merica merch. Okay, where you can get stuff like Movies Merica, trucker hats or T-shirts or koozies, pint glasses, shot glasses, yoga pants, jewelry, although I will advise you, if you are a husband and you get your wife some Movies Merica jewelry, prepare to spend a minimum of 2 weeks on the couch there. So, and I've got financial, I've got a financial gain to be made if you do buy it. And even I'm telling you, yeah, don't get her Movies Merica jewelry right there. Don't do it. But but we got all kinds of great Movies Merica merch, even beyond what I just described right there, in a myriad of different colors and all of that stuff. And right now, I'm sure you're begging. You're probably like clawing at your monitor, right now. They tell me, how do I get that merch? Well, I shall tell you, friend. And the way you get your hands on that is by clicking on the Movies Merica merch link down in the description there. Exactly. Get ready to be happy because you can click on that link, get in there, you get yourself something with the Movies Merica logo on there. We got multiple types of logos there for the Movies Merica world or from the Movies Merica world. There we go. Hey, we got Christmas coming up here. You got Kwanzaa. You got Festivus. You got Hanukkah there. Okay, we got 8 crazy nights of Hanukkah. So, hey, how about you get yourself 8 crazy Movies Merica items for those who you love, okay? Because nothing says, I love you, Grandma, like a Movies Merica pint glass right there, especially if your grandma is an alcoholic. There you go. So anyway, go down there and click on that Movies Merica link down in the description. Now, you might have to scroll a little bit to get to the Movies Merica merch, or if I remember correctly, up at the very tippy top of the screen, there is a Movies Merica link. Just the hyperlink just says Movies Merica. Obviously, as you would imagine, when you click on that, it'll just show you nothing but Movies Merica merch. There you go. So get your little hands on that Movies Merica merch right there. All right, absolutely. And Movies Merica lunchbox available yet there? Why, yes, there is definitely Movies Merica lunchbox there, and it comes complete with snack pack. There you go. Absolutely. So if you want to be able to stay away from that scary lunch lady there with the big mole on her face, and you can rock the Movies Merica lunchbox right there and be the coolest kid in the lunchroom right there with your sweet Movies Merica lunchbox. Gotta love it. Oh yeah. You'll have all the pretty girls at the lunchroom going, oh, hey, Mr. Movies Merica lunchbox, come sit with us. There you go. Absolutely. But hey, that's the Movies Merica merch. That's me plugging my Movies Merica merch right there. So all kinds of goodies. All right. So by now, if you were joining us to hear about One Battle After Another, you might be thinking, it's been a good while since you've even talked about this movie in this episode. So let's cure that right now by me letting you know about some random thoughts I have about One Battle After Another. And I have to say, it was good to see the first appearance of the actor Eric Schweig that I've seen since he played Uncas in The Last of the Mohicans. Remember Last of the Mohicans? That movie way back in 1992. And his character, Uncas, was the brother of Daniel Day-Lewis's Hawkeye character in that movie. And then Uncas, towards the end of the movie here, and I'm not going to worry about spoilers for a movie that came out in 1992. If you haven't seen it yet, that's your own damn problem, okay? But if you haven't seen it, watch it. But Uncas died honorably at the end of the movie right here. I mean, he went out like a boss, and his performance as Uncas. Speaking of Eric Schweig, his performance as Uncas in that movie, I thought it was very underappreciated because it was very stoic, but very stirring in that movie there. And then another random thought about One Battle After Another is the score for this movie by Johnny Greenwood was oftentimes just annoying, just overplayed. I mean, I know Anderson wanted an offbeat score, like that, including during the tense action and rioting scenes, to kind of give the movie a lighter, quirkier, different feel, okay? But I don't know, just call me traditional. I don't care. But it just came off as like pretentious and uppity. And no wonder it's just another thing that has film Twitter psychotically aroused about this movie. They like that type of soundtrack that just doesn't seem to match the scenes to this, but I don't know. And again, I'm not saying that there's anything quote unquote wrong with quirkiness. It's just not my thing. Okay, but hey, just because it's not my thing doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. I just didn't like the kind of music that Anderson employed during some of the scenes here. But I think he was just trying too hard to be different there. So, but I guess credit to him. He wanted to try something different. He basically swung for the fences there in an attempt to be different. And of course he struck out. But hey, at least he took a swing there. So, all right, let's check things out here real quick. And all right, so I just want to take a minute here to remind you that this is not the only show that I have here. I do have the show on Thursday, and that is my Movies Merica spoiler warning show. And that is, like the title of the show indicates, that's the show where I don't worry about whether or not I drop a spoiler or 2 or 500, okay? Now, I don't go out of my way during the show to drop spoilers, but I also am not going to walk on eggshells worrying about whether I drop a spoiler or not, okay? And so that's why I have spoiler warning in the title of the show right there. But yeah, that comes on Thursday night. That comes on Thursday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain, and 4 Pacific time there. And of course, this week's episode is going to be all about One Battle After Another, where I'm going to do an even deeper dive into the movie. I'm going to bust out the scalpel and the suction, and we're going to do an autopsy on this sucker, okay? And, if any of you guys have seen anybody watching here live, or maybe you're watching the recording of this, have seen One Battle After Another, and, you just want a venue to come on and either, sing its praises or vent about how much you hated the movie or somewhere in between, hey, feel free to join me on Thursday night here on Movies Merica Spoiler Warning and get in the live chat. And, hey, let me know how you feel, all right? There you go. Purge those feelings, all right? Get them out. Use your words, okay? And let me know about what you thought about that movie. Or, hey, maybe you haven't seen the movie by Thursday, but you just don't care about spoilers because, you know what? Based on what you told me, I'm never going to see this movie, so I don't care about spoilers. I just want to come on a show and just talk about any movie whatsoever, okay? And that's one thing I will tell you, and anybody will tell you about me on this show is if you get in the live chat, you talk about any movie. I don't care if it's the movie I'm talking about. I'm going to entertain your chat. I'm going to interact with you, and then we're gonna talk some movies, friend. All right, we're gonna definitely do that because that's the purpose of the show. Is because I'm a big movie nerd, and I wanted to just create a venue for myself where I could just talk in a nerd-like fashion, obsessively about movies. I'm like, hey, I just wanted to create a venue for that for myself, and here I am. So now I need other movie nerds to jump on the show here and live chat with me, and let's get our movie nerd on. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Let's do that. And we got an unfolding joker here in the live chat on the Rumble side. One Battle After Another could have been a movie about Chris Christie putting his pants on and living life, like getting through doorways, finding big enough chairs, so on and so forth. Yeah, Chris Christie. There you go. I'll tell you. A day without, a day without hugging Obama is like a day without sunshine for that guy right there. But Chris Christie right there. Never met a bucket of KFC he didn't like. There you go. But I remember there was a time, man, when I thought Chris Christie was going to be the man, but he just missed his window. And oh well, too bad for him. All right. Okay, so there we go. What are we going to get on to next here? What do we got? This is going to be a whopper. This is going to be a whopper. I better take a little tasty taste off my back road stout here before we get into this next thing right here. That's good stuff. There you go. All right. So, guys, as you guys all know, if you guys have ever seen the show before, one of the segments on my Sunday show is the segment, Is This a Woke After School Special? All about whether the movie that I'm talking about here in this episode is what I would consider a woke after school special, where it's not really a movie and it's not really designed to be entertaining. It's not really designed to captivate the audience and make them glad that they were there for this event. No. This is lecture time. All right. This is time for a sermon. All right. And you just sit your happy butt right there nice and still in that old woke pew there. Because welcome to woke church. Okay. You just walked yourself for the low price of $20 for a movie ticket into a woke after school special, my friend. All right. And so, is one battle after another a woke after school special? How do we put it? This is hands down the wokest after school special I have seen, honestly, in a while. I guess in a way you have to hand it to one battle after another for that. I mean, like, go big woke or go home. I mean, am I right or am I right? I mean, and this is in part 100% pure, uncut, pro-illegal alien propaganda. Okay, if you dig yourself some illegal alien, just open borders, let them all stay in, and let's turn this country into a big Benetton commercial. If you like that kind of agitprop, well, get ready to be happy right there. Okay, you are going to be ecstatic with this 100% pure, uncut USDA prime choice pro-illegal alien propaganda that is this movie right here. If you're intelligent enough, it'll crack you up and annoy you how Paul Thomas Anderson tries to portray illegal aliens hiding in sanctuary cities like they're all Anne Frank and some other Jews hiding from the Nazis during World War II. Like a perfect example of this, I know this is a movie example, but remember the beginning of Inglourious Bastards, right? Where you got Hans Landa showing up, to the French, cattle farmer's house, right? And the scene goes by. Turns out the French cattle farmer is hiding some Jews, under the floorboards. Paul Thomas Anderson and other like commies like him want you to think of illegal aliens, hiding out in sanctuary cities like Jews hiding underneath floorboards, hoping to God the Nazis don't come and get them right there. Okay, and of course. The former, in that example, are people that voluntarily left their homes to break into our home, and the latter are actual victims who were dragged out of their homes or forced to flee by an evil force and then murdered in some cases right there. Your not so friendly neighborhood leftists or communists would like you to think that both are the exact same right there. Now, if you have more than two brain cells to rub together, or you weren't indoctrinated in a commie cathedral, aka a college or university, you're not going to fall for that, okay? Not at all. And then Anderson also piles on his cartoonish characterization of anyone who isn't a leftist by having a group called, get this, the Christmas Adventurers Club in this movie here. Now, I'll explain to you what the Christmas Adventurers Club is here. Okay, so he wrote it to be a super secret club of elite white supremacists made up of, as portrayed by this movie, Republican politicians, titans of industry, members of the military, etc. Those kind of figures right there. And it's just another part of the caricature that leftists build up in their minds of who people on the right are. Okay. If you ask them, we all secretly have like Klan robes in our closet, right? We all hate non-white people. We're all married to our sisters, and we all love big belt buckles, and we're always clinging to our gods and guns and all that stuff. It's part of that little caricature they have in their head, of what we are, to kind of help demonize us, because it's so much easier. They're very simple people, and it's very easy to think simply by putting people into their little cubby holes, right? They have their little categories, this category and that category and that category, that category. Good, bad, good, bad. It's good to like just kind of create caricatures out of people, so you can put them in their nice little like mental cubby hole there. That way, it's a little easier for them to kind of get through life and figure and know who the bad guys are and who the good guys are, all of that right there. So it's just and it's just another part of the caricature that they build up in their minds as far as who we are, right? And it's all part of the demonization that the left does that results in getting people killed in real life. I mean, I'm not talking about killed on a movie screen. No. Killed in real life. I mean, just ask Charlie Kirk, right? I mean, that's where movies like this and people just running their mouth, demonizing people. That's where it ends up right there. 1 minute Charlie Kirk's sitting there with a microphone in his hand, and next thing you know, he's in the sweet by and by. His wife was a widow, and his kids are orphans right there. So, and that's that's this movie is part of that. Okay, it's not all of it. I mean, it's not like you're gonna have like some some sane, well-adjusted, well-raised person that is just gonna do like walk into the theater, watch one battle after another, and then walk out of the theater and go, all right, where's some Christian nationalists I can go and kill? Like, no, it's not that. It's not gonna work. This movie isn't that. It's just part of the building blocks that makes up your not so friendly neighborhood commie, bloodthirsty murderer and whatnot. So kind of like the loser that got Charlie Kirk right there. So, but it's not like the loser that got Charlie Kirk. It's not like he went and saw one battle after another and it came out and said, where's that Charlie Kirk guy? No, it's not that simplistic right there. So not at all. There we go. Mr. Scott Awesome says, I like Whoppers. The fries not as much. So yep. Now, Mr. Scott Awesome, keep that Burger King away from me. Not at all. I am not a Burger King fan, especially when they showed me that they wanted to dip their toes in the whole LGBTFU world right there. Remember that when I think it was Pride Month, not this year, but I think like back in 2024, 2023, Burger King decided to make themselves like the official fast food chain of LGBTFU right there. So, which I'm like, you're a burger joint. Keep your nose out of that crap. What the hell? You just alienated 50% of your customer base, dum-dums. But anyway, okay, so let's see where we are at here up in this show, because we got important business to attend to here in Movies Merica Live. And, I try to run a tight ship. Yeah, all right. Really quick, let me just remind you that, if you guys are appreciating the show enough to where you want to throw a buck or two or something like that, I mean, or 500, you most certainly can do that. And the way you can do that, if you're checking me out on Rumble, is if you're in the live chat box there on Rumble box, and you see down by where you type in your live chat message, just got to click on the button that has a $sign on it, okay? And that'll open up another little window asking you how much you want to donate. And that's it. Very simple, very easy, okay? And then if you're on the YouTube side, it works very similarly. Okay. So if you're in the live chat box there, down again by where you type in your live chat message there's a button, but this button has a dollar bill on it. Click on that, and it'll just pop up another window asking you how much you want to donate. And again, very simple. There you go. Even I can figure it out right there. So that's when it's really easy. There you go. So, but again, that's only if you feel I deserve it, and only if you're compelled to throw a little money my way. So I know that maybe there's like 50% of my normal audience today that might not necessarily feel like giving me anything, much less any money right there. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, but if you are so inclined, by all means, you can definitely do that. Now, I know I can't always, give or, donate to shows and that kind of thing. So I completely understand right there. And, sometimes it may be hard times financially for you. And again, in that case, I would never dream of being offended by you not donating or anything like that. So the way I feel, you know what? If I don't get any donations, hey, nobody cares. Work smarter there, and I'm pointing the finger at me on that one right there. So, but anyway, that's enough begging for money from me up in here. Okay, but my final thoughts as I get ready to wrap up this episode of Movies Merica Live about one battle after another there, or Antifa, the motion picture, as some people might call it there, is honestly, I'm just surprised it wasn't directed by Rob Reiner. It wasn't written by Stephen King and didn't star Mark Ruffalo, Rachel Zegler, Robert De Niro, and Mark Hamill, and didn't have a soundtrack composed by Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day. I'm flabbergasted. I thought this just seemed like the perfect movie for that right there. But hey, it's not the first time I've been surprised right there. And hey, I like that. Mr. Scott Awesome right there is coming to me with the useful information here and saying GoldenEye, of course, the very first Pierce Brosnan James Bond movie that was released back in 1995. GoldenEye's 30th anniversary re-release is next week, and he is tempted to go see it. So I'm assuming you've seen it, right? I'm assuming you've seen it. I'm getting ready here to see a response from Mr. Scott Awesome going, come on, Van. Of course I've seen GoldenEye. But that would be a great re-release to go see. I would see that in a heartbeat. That was a great Bond film. His next three Bond films, but GoldenEye was fantastic. And that movie, GoldenEye, was directed by Martin Campbell, who has a penchant for directing the first James Bond movie for whenever they pick a new James Bond, because he also directed not Quantum of Solace, Casino Royale. So Daniel Craig's first James Bond movie, Casino Royale, was directed by Martin Campbell, who also directed Pierce Brosnan's first James Bond movie, GoldenEye, right there. And Martin Campbell, he also directed stuff like Vertical Limits and the both Zorro movies, The Mask of Zorro, and I can't remember what the other one was called. I also directed the great movie The Foreigner with Jackie Chan and Pierce Brosnan. So, but yeah, Martin Campbell's a great director there. So, but yeah, Mr. Scott Awesome. I missed that one. No more BK for me, I guess. I know exactly. Why even lose your clientele like that for what? For the fad of the day? Come on, there you go. So, but anyway, all right, where are we here? Getting ready to wrap this bad boy up here, and real quick here, just let me implore you, if you would follow me on the platforms that I'm on. I'm on X. And all the platforms that I'm on there under, get this, at Movies Merica or Movies Merica, okay? And so I'm on X under at Movies Merica. I'm on Facebook. That's Movies Merica as well. Gab, Rumble. I'm going to run out of fingers. Criticless. If you ever gone to Criticless, is a great site there with Blaine. If you go to Criticless, say hi to Blaine. Then we've got Letterboxd as well. And if you go to Rumble and you see Movies Merica, you're probably going to see like 2 or 3 Movies Merica channels. If you would, go ahead and like all of those and follow all those. if you would. And then if you do follow me on any platforms, well, there's something in it for you. You're not gonna come out of it empty-handed. So all you got to do is DM me on X. DM stands for direct message. If you go to my X profile under @MoviesMerica, and you click on the envelope button, that's kind of towards the top right there. It's an envelope icon. Just click on that. That'll let you direct message me and just let me know, hey, Van, I followed you on this platform and that platform and that platform and so on and so forth. And I will follow you back. Now, it'll help if you let me know what your username is on those platforms so I make sure I follow the right account there. But hey, I'm more than happy to do it. It's the least I can do. You scratch my back, I'm going to scratch yours back. And I mean that in the most platonic way possible. So don't get your hopes up, okay? All right, there we go. And again, hey, feel free to forward the link to this very episode to anybody that you would suspect likes movies. Or also, let me do this real quick. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get up out of here. I will make it easy for you because I'm going to put the link that you can forward to people here. This is going to be the Rumble link. And I will put this in the chat on Rumble. There we go. There we go. Just pin that bad boy up there. There we go. That's the link. So on the Rumble side, I just put up the Rumble link. And let me put that in YouTube there as well. There we go. Because you're like, well, yeah, I would share the link there, Van. But how do I know what that is? There we go. All right. Let me put this up in here. And there we go. All right. So in the YouTube live chat, that's the Rumble link there. So, and let me do this real quick before I got to get out of this here. Let's do this. We'll stop sharing. Get up out of there. All right. Let's, I don't get a well-oiled machine here for sure. Come on. There we go. And let's do this. I'm trying to make it as seamless as possible for you guys because that's just the kind of guy. I don't know why everything just keeps getting highlighted here. Okay. And oops, get out of that. Get out of that. Get out of that. This thing's like got a mind of its own. Okay. And here's the link. So this is the link. I'll put this on the YouTube side as well. And because I went to YouTube here, I think the video on the show here is getting all garbled up and whatnot. So, all right. And yeah, I'm not going to put that on the Rumble side because typically folks who watch me on Rumble aren't going to watch me on YouTube. And maybe on the YouTube side, I get people who watch me on YouTube to go watch me on the Rumble side. You never know. You never know. But on the Rumble live chat, I put both the links that are to the page that have all my episodes, all my Movies Merica live episodes. They're available to you there. So let me get out of this here real quick. Get out of that. There we go. And let's see what's going on here. See, that clears everything up. All right. Well, we're getting ready to wrap up this episode anyway because I think the video quality is looking like crap here, I think. Let's see that. All right. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens. There you go. There you go. Nice. Going to kill that right there. Apparently that's my Rumble account where I have to watch commercials before I can watch any episodes right there. Absolutely. So there we go. And yeah, let me do this here real quick. So just to show you on the YouTube live chat, that's the link to my Rumble page that has all my episodes of all time there, all my Movies Merica episodes. And then this one, let's hide that. And let's do this here real quick. And then that's the YouTube. That's the link. That's the YouTube link that has YouTube link to the page that has all my episodes ever right there. And I've got that in the YouTube live chat there. So, but anyway, enough about that. I know I've kicked that. What's a phrase? I've kicked that dead horse. Is that a phrase? Or did I just make that up there? All right. Let me do this here real quick. All right. There we go. Okay. So again, I just want to thank everyone for watching, especially ones that watch live and got up in the live chat there. It's Davin in the YouTube live chat. and Mr. Scott Awesome and Unfolding Joker and Lindy Ray, just to name a few in the Rumble chat there. Thank you. Thank you for joining and live chatting it up here. You guys are the MVPs. And then for those that watch live, but maybe you were unavailable, you had your hands full, you couldn't live chat, thank you to you as well. And then to the folks that couldn't watch live, but you're watching recording of this here, again, thank you for watching the recording of it as well. And for you guys, the comments section down below is where it's at. So we can comment to me, or we can comment to each other down there as well. But let's wrap up this episode of Movies Merica Live, this one battle after another episode of Movies Merica Live. But as I always say, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya. Howdy, my movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. Would you do me a favor and check me out at solo.to/moviesmerica? That's where you would go for a one-stop shop for all the links that have to do with me, Movies Merica. And then also, if you want to check out the audio-only podcast versions of my Movies Merica Live episodes, that's my spoiler-free reviews that I do on Sunday, you can go to moviesmerica.com or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, places like that. And then, actually, if you would also check me out on the social media sites like X and Instagram and Facebook and Gab. And I'm on those locations all under @Movies Merica. So it is very easy to find me out there, all right? So get to it, everybody. All right, thanks for watching. Later.
Hey guys, don't leave the video quite yet. Okay, I've got a popo. They're coming after me, and I don't have much time to tell you, but you need to like and subscribe this video right here, down below. It's right down there. It's just waiting. It's waiting for you down there, okay? And make sure you watch these videos over here too. You'll be doing me a big favor. I'm gonna be in handcuffs pretty soon. All right, thanks for watching.